So wait, was that a yes?
I'm admitting Aaron, and I think that we're live. Let me just make sure I have that window open. But I've got the notification. So let me see.
Live.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, was that
I'm admitting Aaron, and I think that we're live.
Okay.
Make sure I have that window open. I got the notification.
So wait, was that
We're live.
So wait, was that a yes?
I'm admitting Aaron, and I think someone has the window open. Who has the window open on their computer?
So wait, was that a yes?
We're live.
So wait, was that a yes?
Okay, are we good? There we go. That was weird. All right, we're official. There's people watching right now.
Someone's got it open.
I know, so much echoing.
Are we good now?
There we go. He's Skylar, because when he walked away, it got better.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, so everyone, if we want to, you can put yourselves on mute and go live on your own personal Instagrams if you want, or make another story just to remind people. And in the meantime, I'll talk about the charity. I will go live first myself. So I'm gonna put myself on mute, and then we'll get started. Cool?
Amazing.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
So wait, are we all supposed to go live?
Are we all going live on our Instagrams right now?
I'm going live. Yes, I put myself on mute, and I'm gonna talk into my phone for a second.
Okay.
If you want to make a story or go live, whatever you guys want to do, and then we'll officially talk.
I'm gonna have to minimize myself on Zoom just because I'm doing both on my phone, but I'm still here. I'm not going away.
Perfect. You got it.
Cool.
Thank you. Cool.
You're welcome.
Shit. Oh shit, my phone is dying.
Oh no.
Are you able to plug it in while you're using it?
Lord, I'm so sorry. Yes, I'm gonna figure that out.
Perfect. This is the perfect time. Everyone else double check, or grab yourself a drink or whatever you plan on doing. 1 second.
Should have done a tutorial on how to go live.
I didn't know we had to go live. I thought it was through your page.
So we're not going live for the entire reading. It's just to notify your people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just did a video, but I could do it again.
Either way, there's no pressure. It's only those who want to or can or are interested. So 1 second. Hey!
Oh, I'm on.
I'm back officially. Are we all? Looks like Margaret's ready. Sweet. All right. So shortly, when everyone's ready, I'll talk about the charity, and then we'll make some art. Let's do this. All right. Margaret, since you're finished there, what would you have been doing right now if we weren't in this shelter in place? Out of curiosity, did you have like any major plans or anything that you were working on?
Do you mean what would I be doing this specific afternoon, or in general?
In general, during this time, were you on a movie set? Were you going to be filming something? Did you have any cancellations? Were you going to be in Montana? And remember, that was a recent trip.
To be honest, I'm not exactly sure where I would be at this given moment.
Yeah.
But I'm very pleased to be here with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Margaret. Thanks for being a part of this. Everyone else is joining in. I think Brandon's joining in right now. He just finished. Will, Skylar's still on it. Aaron, are you in? Here we go.
Going live really freaks me out.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird sensation. I only started doing it for this.
That was terrible.
That was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life.
It was stressful. My God.
By that.
All right.
Live, aren't we? Right? Like people are watching.
This is another
I don't
story.
believe
The
them. What do you
Instagram
think about
live is
this?
like, I
For,
don't know, you see like
I love that we're
numbers.
live right now explaining how it's so stressful to go live, but we're currently live.
We're currently live.
But this is
doing
like
it
we're
right
among
now.
friends. This is
It's
Yeah.
I think that the best description of
I
our
don't think this is
Allowed
not
is kind of
working.
annoying. That's like what I. Hey, Brett, I just unmuted myself. Are we about to go? I just
we're
lied.
about to go. We're good. We're good. Is everyone in?
Great.
Definitely on that old chart. It's chaotic good. Now we're going to bring ourselves to order here. Everyone in? Everyone ready? David, are we? You're good?
I think so. I don't know.
Great. Okay. So officially, everyone, welcome everyone who is here on the live stream of Romeo and Juliet through Acting for a Cause. Just to start off, I really wanted to go right into the real meaning of what we're doing. We're trying to make an impact. We're trying to make it through doing what we love as artists. Acting for a Cause started as a response to this, but originally way back when I was a young 13, 14-year-old, we started a group called Acting for a Cause in high school where we would put on plays and we would raise money for charity. So that idea really became was the seed of this plant that, has come to fruition during this time. At first, it was a response to arts education. And I noticed Lucante Dance Studio in Chicago closed down. Another local school near where I live closed down. And these were schools that did a lot for low-income areas in Chicago. It was just, a devastating thing. And I realized, well, nonprofits were losing funding and we needed to do something about that. Quickly, though, and in talks with our actors, this was in a huge part thanks to Florence Pugh and Alex Wolf when we did our second reading of This Is Our Youth, we thought some of the funds that we raised should also go to the front lines. And so we decided to basically continue with a model with a 50-50 split, where 50% of the funds that we raise will be going to Mount Sinai Hospital in Chicago, and then 50% of the funds will be going through an amazing partnership with the EIF, the Entertainment Industry Foundation, which was founded by Warner Brothers and Humphrey Bogart. And a bunch of other actors that, in the golden age of Hollywood who wanted to make a difference and had the similar sense of activism that I think our generation of actors, producers, and directors have. I think one of the most important things is to recognize when there's problems within problems. So in Chicago, 75% of all COVID-19 cases are from low-income families, and that's reported cases. So you can imagine how disproportionately affected low-income communities are right now. I realized we can't go back in time and stop the problem, but we can act now. I mean, it's not too late to jump in and give as many funds as we can to Mount Sinai Hospital, to, number one, educate the community. There's been policy issues and communication issues, and I think that the hospitals are trying to overcompensate for that. The more funds they have, the more they can produce and disseminate information. And then, families, I imagine being, the father of a family of 7 and you're an immigrant and you have a job and all of a sudden you can't work anymore or support your family. Those are the type of families that are receiving money. So without further ado, go to actingforacause.org, 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 and make a donation, anything you can. I think, if you're struggling right now, I'm sure you can give even just $5 just to show your support. And if you do have a little bit more, give a little bit more. It means a lot. Now, without further ado, there's also the artistic element. We're here to read Romeo and Juliet. This is a continuation of a series. And if you stick through to the very end, we will be announcing next week's play. Every week we have a play read on Friday at 4 o'clock Central Standard. So some of you are at 2 o'clock if you're in LA, or 5 o'clock if you're in New York. It's very exciting. It's another classic, but it's not Shakespeare. Stick through to the end and we will announce it. Without further ado, let me make sure that, there we go. I have to make sure that I have everything in front of me. And we will start our reading of Romeo and Juliet. Any objections? Anything else that anyone wants to add?
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
As Aaron said.
If you could read the spelling of some of these words, you'll forgive us along our way as we trip up, inevitably.
Before I move forward, I did want to mention that if you want to follow along with the script, people can go to actingforacause.org. and also click on a PDF. It's right on the homepage, and you can follow along the script. There's an excellent resource called No Fear Shakespeare that translates things into modern English, and you can follow along there as well. This is a reduced version, and it was done by my great friend, mentor figure, a wonderful artist named the artistic director of the best regional theater in the nation, according to Wall Street Journal, Michael Halberstam. Thank you so much for providing me both Hamlet, the cut for Hamlet and the cut for Romeo and Juliet. Just a direct thank you, and to all the volunteers that have done little things here and there for us. They really mean a lot. Nothing would have been possible without you. Without further ado, Act 1 of Romeo and Juliet. Enters Samson Gregory with swords and bucklers of the house of Capulet.
Draw thy tool, here comes the house of the Montagues.
My naked weapon is out. Quarrel, I will back thee.
How? Turn thy back and run?
Hear me not.
I will frown as I pass by and let them take it as they list.
Nay, as they dare. I will bite my thumb at them, which is a disgrace to them if they bear it.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Oh, I bite my thumb at thee, sir.
Do you bite your thumb at us, sir?
Is the law of our side, if I say?
No.
No, sir, I do not bite my thumb at you, sir, but I do bite my thumb.
Do you quarrel, sir?
Quarrel, sir? No, sir.
If you do, sir, I am for you. I serve as good a man as you.
No better.
Well, sir.
Say better, here comes one of my master's kinsmen.
Yes, better.
You lie.
Draw if you be men.
They fight. It's pretty intense.
Part, fools, put up your swords. You know not what you do.
Enters Tybalt.
What? Art thou draw among these heartless hinds? Turn thee, Benvolio, look upon thy death.
I do but keep the peace. Put up thy sword or manage it to part these men with me.
What, draw and talk of peace? I hate the word as I hate hell, all Montagues and thee. Have at thee, coward.
They fight. Enters old Capulet in his gown and his wife. What noise is this? Give me my long sword, ho.
Rebellious subjects, enemies to peace. Profaners of this neighbor-stained steel, will they not hear? What? Ho, you men, you beasts, that quench the fire of your pernicious rage with purple fountains issuing from your veins. On pain of torture from those bloody hands, throw your mistempered weapons to the ground and hear the sentence of your moved prince. 3 civil brawls, bred of an airy word. By the old Capulet and Montague have thrice disturbed the quiet of our streets and made Verona's ancient citizens, cast by their grave beseeming ornaments, to wield old partisans in hands as old. Cankered with peace, to part your cankered hate. If you ever disturb our streets again, your lives shall pay the forfeit of the peace. For this time, all the rest depart away. You, Capulet, shall go along with me, and Montague, come you this afternoon to know our farther pleasure in this case, to old Freetown, our common judgment place. Once more, on pain of death, all men depart.
He exits.
Who said this ancient quarrel knew a broach? Speak, nephew, were you by when it began?
I drew to part them. In the instant came the fiery Tybalt with his sword prepared, which as he breathed defiance to my ears while we were interchanging thrusts and blows, came more and fought on part and part, till the prince came, who parted either part.
Oh, where is Romeo? Saw you him today? Right glad I am. He was not at this fray.
Madam, an hour before the worshipped sun peered forth the golden window of the east, a troubled mind drove me to walk abroad. So early walking did I see your son. Toward him I made, but he was ware of me and stole into the covert of the wood.
Many a morning hath he there been seen, with tears augmenting the fresh morning's dew.
My noble uncle, do you know the cause?
I neither know it nor can learn of him.
Have you importuned him by any means?
Both by myself and many other friends. But he his own affections counselors to himself. I will not say how true, but to himself so secret and so close. Could we but learn from whence his sorrows grow, we would as willingly give cure as know.
Enters Romeo.
See where he comes. So please, you step aside. I'll know his grievance, or I'll be much denied.
I would thou wert so happy by thy stay, to hear true shrift. Come, madam, let's away.
They exit.
Good morrow, cousin.
Is the day so young?
But new struck 9.
Ay me, sad hours seem long. Was that my father that went hence so fast?
It was. What sadness lengthens Romeo's hours?
Not having that which having makes them short.
In love.
Out.
Of love?
Of her favor, where I am in love.
Alas, that love so gentle in its view should be so tyrannous and rough in proof.
Alas, that love, whose view is muffled still, should without eyes see pathways to his will. Oh, heavy lightness, serious vanity, misshapen chaos of well-seeming forms, feather of lead, bright smoke, cold fire, sick health, still waking sleep, that is not what it is. This love feel I that feel no love in this. Dost thou not laugh?
No, cuz I'd rather weep.
Good heart at what?
At thy good heart's oppression.
Why, such is love's transgression. Love is a smoke made with the fume of sighs, being purged, a fire sparkling in lovers' eyes, being vexed, a sea nourished with loving tears. What is it else? A madness, most discreet, a choking gall and a preserving sweet. Farewell, my cuz.
Soft, I will go along, and if you leave me so, you do me wrong.
Tut, I have lost myself. I am not here. This is not Romeo, he's some otherwhere.
Tell me in sadness, who is it that you love?
What shall I groan and tell thee?
Groan, why no, but sadly tell me who.
In sadness, cousin, I do love a woman.
Well, I aimed so near when I supposed you loved.
A right good mark, man, and she's fair, I love.
Ah, right fair mark, fair cuz, it's soonest hit.
Well, in that hit you miss, she'll not be hit with Cupid's arrow. She hath Dian's wit, and in strong proof of chastity well armed. From love's weak childish bow she lives uncharmed. She will not stay the siege of loving terms, nor bid the encounter of assailing eyes, nor open her lap to saint-seducing gold. Oh, she is rich in beauty, onely poor, that when she dies, with beauty dies her store.
She has sworn that she will live in chaste.
She hath forsworn to love, and in that vow do I live dead, that live to tell it now.
Be ruled by me. Forget to think of her.
Oh, teach me how I should forget to think.
By giving liberty unto thine eyes. Examine other beauties.
He that is stricken blind cannot forget the precious treasure of his eyesight lost. Farewell, thou canst not teach me to forget.
I'll pay that doctrine or else die in debt.
They exit. Enters Capulet, Paris, and the clown. Montague is bound as well as I, in penalty alike, and 'tis not hard, I think, for men so old as we to keep the peace.
Of honorable reckoning are you both, and pity 'tis you lived at aught so long. But now, my lord, what must you say to my suit?
My child is yet a stranger in the world. She hath not seen the change of 14 years. Let 2 more summers wither in their pride, ere we may think her ripe to be a bride.
Younger than she, our happy mother's maid.
And too soon marred are those so early made. Earth hath swallowed all my hopes, but she but woo her gentle Paris, get her heart. My will to her consent is but a part, and she agree within her scope of choice lies my consent. And fair according voice, this night I hold an old accustomed feast, whereto I've invited many a guest. Such I love, and you among the store, one more, most welcome makes my number more. Come, go with me. Go, Sirrah, trudge about. Through fair Verona, find those persons out whose names are written there. And to them say, my house and welcome on their pleasure stay. He exits.
Find them out whose names are written. I am sent to find those persons whose names are writ. I must to the learned in good time.
Enters Benvolio and Romeo.
Tut man, one fire burns out, another's burning. Take thou some new infection to the eye, and the rank poison of the old will die.
God give good, and I pray, sir, can you read?
I, mine own fortune in my misery.
Perhaps you've learned it without book, but I pray, can you read anything you see?
Aye, if I know the letters and the language.
You say honestly. Rest you, Mary.
Stay, fellow, I can read. Signor Martino and his wife and daughter, County Anselm and his beauteous sisters, the lady widow of Vitrurio, Signor Placentio, it's Italy, I guess, and his lovely nieces, Mercutio and his brother Valentine, mine uncle Capulet, his wife and daughters, my fair niece Rosalind, Signor Valentino and his cousin Tybalt, Lucio and the lively Helena. A fair assembly, whither should they come?
Up.
Whither? To supper?
To our house.
Whose house?
My master's.
Indeed, I should have asked you that before.
Now I'll tell you without asking. My master is the great rich Capulet, and if you be not of the house of Montagues, I pray, come and crush a cup of wine. Rest, you merry.
He exits.
At this same ancient feast of Capulet sups the fair Rosalind, whom thou so loves with all the admired beauties of Verona. Go thither with unattainted eye, compare her face with some that I shall show, and I will make thee think thy swan a crow.
I'll go along, no such sight to be shown, but to rejoice in splendor of mine own.
Enters Capulet's wife and nurse.
Nurse, where is my daughter? Call her forth to me.
Now by my maidenhead, at 12-year-old I bade her come. What lamb? What ladybird? God forbid, where's this girl? What Juliet?
Enters Juliet.
How now? Who calls?
Your mother.
Madam, I am here. What is your will?
This is your matter. Nurse, give me leave a while. We must talk in secret. Nurse, come back again. I have remembered me. Thou hear our counsel. Thou knowest my daughter's of a pretty age.
Faith, I can tell her age unto an hour.
She's not 14.
How long is it now to Lammas tide?
A fortnight at odd days.
Even or odd, of all days in the year, come Lammas Eve at night, shall she be 14. Susan and she, God rest all Christian souls, were of an age. Well, Susan is with God. She was too good for me. But as I said, on Lammas Eve at night shall she be 14. I remember it well. 'Tis since the earthquake now 11 years. I never shall forget it. My lord and you were then at Mantua, and since that time it is 11 years. For then she could stand alone. For even the day before, my husband, God be with his soul, he was a merry man, took up the child. Yea, quoth he, doest thou fall upon thy face? Thou wilt fall backward when thou hast more wit, wilt thou not, Jewel? And by my holy dog, the pretty wretch left crying and said, I warrant I shall live 1,000 years. I never should forget it. Wilt thou not, Jewel, quoth he. And pretty fool it stinted and said, I.
Enough of this. I pray thee hold thy peace.
Yes, madam. Yet I cannot choose but laugh to think it should leave crying and say, I.
I pray thee, nurse, say I.
Peace I have done. God mark thee to his grace. Thou wast the prettiest babe that e'er I nursed, and I might live to see thee married once. I have my wish.
Mary, that Mary is the very thing I came to talk to of. Tell me, daughter Juliet, how stands your disposition to be married?
It is an hour that I dream of not.
Well, think of marriage now. Younger than you here in Verona, ladies of esteem are made already mothers. But by my count, I was your mother, much upon these years, that you are now a maid. Thus, in brief, the valiant Paris seeks you for his love.
Oh, a man, young lady, such a man as all the world.
Verona's summer hath not such a flower.
Nay, he's a flower, in faith, a very flower.
What say you? Can you love the gentleman? This night you shall behold him at our feast, read o'er the volume of young Paris' face, and find delight. Right there with beauty's pen, examine every several lineament, and see how one another lends content. So shall you share all he doth possesses, by having him, making yourself no less.
No less, nay bigger. Women grow by men.
Speak briefly. Can you like of Paris love?
I'll look to like, if looking liking move, but no more deep will I endart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make fly.
Enters the serving man.
Madam, the guests are come, supper served, you called, my young lady asked for, the nurse cursed in the pantry, and everything in extremity. I must hence to wait. I beseech you follow straight.
Yeah.
We follow thee. Juliet, the county stays.
Go, girl. Seek happy nights to happy days.
The exit. Enters Romeo, Mercutio, Benvolio, with 5 or 6 other maskers bearing torches.
Give me a torch. I am not for this ambling, but being but heavy, I will bear the light.
Oh, nay, gentle Romeo, we must have you dance.
Not I, believe me. You have dancing shoes with nimble soles. I have a soul of lead, so stakes me to the ground. I cannot move.
You are a lover. Borrow Cupid's wings and soar with them above a common bound.
I cannot bound a pitch above dull woe. Under love's heavy burden do I sink.
And to sink in it should you burden love. Too great oppression for a tender thing.
Is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like thorn.
If love be rough with you, be rough with love. Prick love for a prick song, and you beat love down. Give me a mask to put my visage in.
And we mean well in going to this mask, but 'tis no wit to go.
Why, may one ask?
I dreamt a dream tonight.
And so did I.
Well, what was yours?
That dreamers often lie.
In bed asleep while they do dream things true.
Oh, then I see Queen Mab hath been with you. She is the fairy's midwife, and she comes in shape no bigger than an agate stone on the forefinger of an alderman, drawn with a team of little atomies over men's noses as they lie asleep. Her wagon spokes made of long spinners' legs, the cover of the wings of grasshoppers, her traces of the smallest spider's web, her collars of the moonshine's watery beams, her whip of cricket's bone, the lash of Philomé, her wagoner, a small gray-coated gnat, not half so big as a round little worm, pricked from the lazy finger of a man. Her chariot is an empty hazelnut, made by the fairies' coachmakers, and in the state she gallops night by night through lovers' brains, and then they dream of love. On courtiers' knees that dream on curtsy straight, or lawyers' fingers who straight dream on fees, or ladies' lips who straight on kisses dream, which oft the angry Mab with blisters plagues, because their breath with sweet meats tainted are. Sometime she gallops o'er a courtier's nose, and they dream he of smelling of a sweet. And sometime comes she with a pig's tail, tickling a parson's nose as he lies asleep. Then he dreams of another benefice. Sometimes she driveth over a soldier's neck, and then dreams he of cutting foreign throats, of breeches, ambascados, Spanish blades, of health's 5 fathom deep, and then anon drums in his ears, at which he starts and wakes, and being thus frighted, swears a prayer or two, and sleeps again. This is that very Mab that plaits the manes of horses in the night, and bakes the elk's locks in the foul sluttish hairs, which, once untangled, much misfortune bodes. This is the hag, when maids lie on their backs, that presses them, and learns them first to bear, making them women of good carriage. This is she.
Peace, peace, Mercutio, peace. Thou talk'st of nothing.
True, I talk of dreams, which are the children of an idle brain, begot of nothing but vain fantasy, which is as thin the substance as the air.
This wind you talk of, blow us from ourselves. Supper is done. I mean, we shall come too late.
I fear too early, for my mind misgives some consequence yet hanging in the stars shall bitterly begin his fearful date with this night's revels, and expire the term of a despised life lost in my closed in my breast, by some vile forfeit of untimely death. But he that hath the stirrage of my course, direct my suit on justice, on lusty right. Direct my suit on lusty gentlemen. On, lusty gentlemen. You're the lusty gentleman. On.
Strike that drum.
They march about the stage, and serving men come forth with their napkins. Enters all the guests and gentlewomen to the masked ball. Welcome, gentlemen. I have seen the day that I have worn a visor, and I could tell a whispering tale in a fair lady's ear, such as would please. 'Tis gone, 'tis gone, 'tis gone. You are welcome, gentlemen. Come, musicians, play. Musicians play, and they dance. A hall, give room and foot it, girls. More light, you knaves, and turn the tables up.
What lady is that which doth enrich the hand of yonder knight?
I know not.
She doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night. So shoes. Oh, so she was? I don't know. A snowy dew, trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. Did my heart love till now? Forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
This, by his voice, should be a Montague. Now by the stock and honor of my kid, strike him dead, I hold it not a sin.
Why, how now, kinsman? Wherefore storm you so?
Uncle, this is a Montague, our foe, a villain that is hither come in spite to scorn at our solemnity this night.
Young Romeo, is it?
'Tis he, that villain, Romeo.
Content thee, gentle cause, let him alone. Bears him like a portly gentleman, and to say truth, Verona brags of him. To be a virtuous and well-governed youth, I would not, for the wealth of all the town here in this house, do him disparagement. Therefore be patient. Take no note of him. It is my will, the which, if you respect, show a fair presence and put off these frowns. An ill-beseeming semblance for a feast.
It fits when such a villain is a guest. I'll not endure him.
He shall be endured. What a goodman boy, I say he shall, go to. And I am the master, here are you. Go to. You'll not endure him. God shall mend my soul.
My uncle, 'tis a shame.
Go to, go to. You're a saucy boy, is it? So indeed. This trick may chances scathe you, I know what. You must contrary me, marry to 'tis time. Well said, my hearts, you are a peacock. Go. Be quiet. Or more light for shame, I'll make you quiet. What cheerly, my hearts.
If I profane with my unworthiest hand this holy shrine, the gentle sin is this: my lips to blushing pilgrims did ready stand, to smooth that rough touch with a tender kiss.
Good pilgrim, you do wrong your hand too much, which mannerly devotion shows in this. For saints have hands that pilgrims' hands do touch, and palm to palm is holy Palmer's kiss.
Have not saints' lips and holy palmers too?
Aye, pilgrim, lips that they must use in prayer.
Oh, then, dear saint, let lips do what hands do. They pray, grant thou, lest faith turn to despair.
Saints do not move, though grant for prayer's sake.
Then move not while my prayer's effect I take. Thus from my lips, by thine, my sin is purged.
Then have my lips the sin that they have took.
Sin from my lips, O trespass sweetly urged. Give me, give me my sin again.
You kiss by the book.
Madam, your mother craves a word with you.
What is her mother?
Mary Bachelor, her mother is the lady of the house, and a good lady, and a wise, and virtuous.
Is she a Capulet? Oh, dear account, my life is my foe's debt.
Way, begone, the sport is at best.
Aye, so I fear, the more is my unrest.
Nay, gentlemen, prepare not to be gone. We have a trifling foolish banquet toward. It even so, why then I thank you all. I thank you, honest gentlemen, good night. More torches here, come on. Then let's go to bed. Aye, sirrah. By my faith it waxes late. All to my rest.
Come hither, nurse. What's he that follows here that would not dance?
I know not.
Go ask him his name. If he be married, my grave is like to be my wedded bed.
His name is Romeo and a Montague, the only son of your great enemy.
My only love sprung from my only hate. Too early seen, unknown, and known too late. Prodigious birth of love, it is to me that I must love a loathed enemy.
Juliet.
Anon, anon. Come, let's away. The strangers are all gone.
They exit. Begin Act 2. Enters Romeo, alone.
Can I go forward when my heart is here? Turn back, dull earth, and find thy center out.
Enters Benvolio with Mercutio.
Romeo, my cousin, Romeo.
He is wise, and on my life hath stolen him home to bed.
He ran this way and leapt at this orchard wall. Call, good Mercutio.
Nay, I'll conjure too. Romeo! Humors! Madman, passion, lover. Appear thou in the likeness of a sigh. All right, speak but one time and I am satisfied. The ape is dead. I must conjure him. I conjure thee by Rosalind's bright eyes, by her high forehead and her scarlet lip, by her fine foot, straight leg, and quivering thigh, and the demons that there adjacent lie. That in the likeness thou appear to us.
And if he hear thee, thou wilt anger him.
My invocation is fair and honest, and in his mistress' name. I conjure only to raise up him.
Come, he hath hid himself among the trees, to be consorted with the humorous night. Blind in his love, he best befits the dark.
Romeo, good night. All to my truckle bed. This field bed is too cold for me to sleep. Come, shall we go?
Go then, for 'tis in vain to seek him here. That means not to be found.
They exit.
He jests at scars that never felt a wound. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks? It is the east, and Juliet is the sun. Arise, fair sun, and kill the envious moon, who is already sick and pale with grief, that thou, her maid, art far more fair than she. It is my lady, oh, it is my love, oh, that she knew she were. She speaks, yet she says nothing. What of that? Her eye discourses. I will answer it. I am too bold. 'Tis not to me she speaks. See how she leans her cheek upon her hand. Oh, that I were a glove upon that hand, that I might touch that cheek.
Ay me.
She speaks. Oh, speak again, bright angel, for thou art as glorious to the night being o'er my head as is a winged messenger of heaven, when he bestrides the lazy puffing clouds and sails upon the bosom of the air.
O Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? Deny thy father and refuse thy name, or, thou wilt not, be but sworn to my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more, or shall I speak at this?
'Tis but thy name that is thy enemy. Thou art itself, though not a Montague. What's Montague? It is nor hands, nor foot, nor arm, nor face. It will be some other name belonging to a man. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other word would smell as sweet. So Romeo would, were he not Romeo called, retain that dear perfection which he owes without that title. Romeo, doff thy name, and for thy name, which is no part of thee, take all myself.
I take thee at thy word. Call me but love, and I'll be new baptized. Henceforth I never will be Romeo.
What man art thou that thus bescreened in night so stumblest on my counsel?
By a name I know not how to tell thee who I am. My name, dear saint, is hateful to myself, because it is an enemy to thee. Had I it written, I would tear the word.
My ears have yet not drunk 100 words of thy tongue's uttering. Yet I know the sound. Art thou not Romeo and a Montague?
Neither, fair maid, if either thee dislike.
How camest thou hither? Tell me, and wherefore? The orchard walls are high and hard to climb, and the place death, considering who thou art. If any of my kinsmen find thee here.
With love's light wings did I o'erperch these walls, for stony limits cannot hold love out. And what love can do that dares love attempt. Therefore my kinsmen are no stop to me.
If they do see thee, they will murder thee.
Alack, there lies more peril in thine eyes than 20 of their swords. Look thou but sweet, and I am proof against their enmity.
I would not for the world they saw thee here.
I have night's cloak to hide me from their eyes, and but thou love me, let them find me here.
By whose direction foundst thou out this place?
By love, that first did prompt me to inquire. He lent me counsel, and I lent him eyes.
Thou knowest the mask of night is on my face, else would a maiden blush but paint my cheek for that which thou hast heard me speak tonight. Fain would I dwell on form, fain deny what I have spoke, but farewell compliment. Doest thou love? I know thou wilt say aye, and I will take thy word. Yet, if thou swearest, thou mayest prove false. At lovers' perjuries, they say Jove laughed. Oh, gentle Romeo, if thou dost love, pronounce it faithfully. Or if thou thinkest I am too quickly won, I'll frown and be perverse and say thee nay. So thou wilt woo. But else not for the world.
Lady, by yonder moon I vow, that tips with silver all these fruit treetops.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon that monthly changes in her circled orb. Least that thy love prove likewise variable.
What shall I swear by?
Do not swear at all. Or, if thou wilt, swear by thy gracious self, which is the god of my idolatry, and I'll believe thee.
If my heart's dear love...
Well, do not swear. Although I joy in thee, I have no joy in this contract tonight. It is too rash, too sudden, too like the lightning which doth cease to err. One can say in lightness, sweet good night. This bud of love by summer's ripening breath may prove a beauteous flower when next we meet. Good night. Good night, as sweet repose and rest come to thy heart as that within my breast.
Oh, wilt thou leave me so unsatisfied?
What satisfaction canst thou have tonight?
The exchange of thy love's faithful vow for mine.
I gave thee mine before thou didst request it. And yet I would it were to give again.
Wouldst thou withdraw it? For what purpose, love?
But to be frank, and give it thee again. Anon, good nurse. Sweet Montague, be true. Stay but a little, I will come again.
Oh, blessed, blessed night, I am afeard. Being in night, all this is but a dream, too flattering sweet to be substantial.
3 words, dear Romeo, and good night indeed. If that thy bent of love be honorable, thy purpose marriage, send me word tomorrow, by one that I'll procure to come to thee, where and what time thou wilt perform the rite, and all my fortunes at thy foot I'll lay, and follow thee, my lord, throughout the world.
Madam,
I come anon. But if thou meanest not well, I do beseech thee.
madam,
By and by I come, to cease thy strife and leave me to my grief. Tomorrow I will send.
So thrive my soul.
1,000 times good night.
1,000 times the worse to want thy light. Love goes toward love as schoolboys from their books, but love from love towards school with heavy looks.
Hist, Romeo, hist. Oh, for a falconer's voice to lure this tassel gentle back again.
It is my soul that calls upon my name. How silver sweet sound lover's tongue by night, like softest music to attending ears.
Romeo,
My sweet,
what o'clock tomorrow shall I send to thee?
by the hour of 9.
I will not fail. 'Tis 20 years till then. I forgot why I did call thee back.
Let me stand here till thou remember it.
I shall forget to have thee still stand there, remembering how I love thy company.
Parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night till it be morrow.
Sleep dwell upon thine eyes, peace in thy breast.
Would I were sleep and peace so sweet to rest. Ah, hence will I to my ghostly friar's close cell, his help to crave and my dear hap to tell.
Enters the friar alone with a basket.
The gray-eyed morn smiles on the frowning night, checkering the eastern clouds with streaks of light, and freckled darkness like a drunkard reels from forth day's path, and tightens burning wheels. Now ere the sun advance his burning eye, the days to share and night's dank dew to dry, I must upfill this osier cage of ours with baleful weeds and precious flowers.
Good morrow, father.
Benedict, what early tongue so sweet salute me? Young son, it argues a distempered head so soon to bid good morrow to thy bed. Therefore thy earliness doth me assure thou'rt uproused with some distemperature. Or if not so, then here I hit it right. Our Romeo hath not been in bed tonight.
That last is true. The sweeter rest was mine.
God pardon sin. Wast thou with Rosalind?
With Rosalind, my ghostly father, no, I have forgot that name and that name's woe.
That's my good son. But where hast thou been then?
I have been feasting with mine enemy, where on a sudden one hath wounded me, that's by me wounded. Both are remedies within thy help and holy physic lies.
Be plain, good son. Rest homely in thy drift. Riddling confession finds but riddling shrift.
Then plainly know my heart's dear love is set on the fair daughter of rich Capulet. As mine on hers, so hers is set on mine, and all combined, save what thou must combine, by holy marriage, when and where and how we met, we wooed, and made exchange of vow. I'll tell thee as we pass, but this I pray, that thou consent to marry us today.
Holy Saint Francis, what a change is here. Is Rosalind that thou didst love so dear so soon forsaken? Young men's love then lies not truly in their hearts, but in their eyes.
Thou chidest me oft for loving Rosalind.
For doting, not for loving, pupil mine.
And badst me bury love.
Not in a grave to lay one in, another out to have.
I pray thee, chide me not. Her I love now doth grace for grace, and love for love allow. The other did not so.
Oh, she knew well thy love did weep. I wrote that could not spell. But come, young waverer, come go with me. In one respect, I'll thy assistant be. For this alliance may so happy prove, to turn your household rancor to pure love.
Oh, let us hence, I stand on sudden haste.
Wisely and slow, they stumble that run fast.
They exit. Enters Benvolio and Mercutio.
Where the devil should this Romeo be? Came he not home tonight?
Not to his father's, I spoke with his man.
By the same pale, hard-hearted wench, that Rosalind torments him so that he will sure run mad.
Tybalt, the kingsman of the old Capulet, has sent a letter to his father's house.
A challenge on my life.
Romeo will answer it.
Now, any man that can write may answer a letter.
Nay, he will answer the letter's master how he dares being dared.
Alas, poor Romeo. He is already dead, stabbed with a white wench's black eye, run through the ear with a love song, the very pin of his heart cleft with a blind bow boy's butt shaft. And is he a man to encounter Tybalt?
Why, what is Tybalt?
More than a prince of cats. He is the courageous captain of compliments. He fights as you sing prick song, keeps time, distance, and proportion. A duelist. A duelist. A gentleman of the very first house of the first and second cause.
Enters Romeo.
Romeo, here comes Romeo.
Ah, flesh. Flesh, how art thou fishified? Signor Romeo, bonjour. You gave us the counterfeit fairly last night, huh?
Good morrow to you both. What counterfeit did I give you?
The slip, sir. The slip. Can you not conceive?
Pardon, Mercutio, my business was great, and in such a case as mine, a man may strain courtesy.
Oh, that's as much as to say such a case as yours constrains a man to bow in the hams.
Meaning to curtsy.
Thou hast most kindly hit it.
A most courteous exposition.
Nay, I am the very pink of courtesy.
Pink for flower.
Right.
Why then is my pump well flowered?
Why is this not better now than groaning for love? Now art thou sociable. Now art thou Romeo. Now art thou what thou art. By art as well as nature. For this driveling love is like a great idiot that runs, lolling up and down to hid his bauble in a hole.
Stop there, stop there.
What, thou desirest me to stop my tale?
Thou wouldst else have made thy tale large.
Oh, thou art deceived. I would have made it short, or I was come to the whole depth of my tale, and meant indeed to occupy the argument no longer.
Enters nurse and her man.
Here's a goodly gear. A sail, a sail.
Two, a shirt and a smock.
Peter,
Anon.
my fan, Peter.
Good Peter to hide her face? For her fans the fairer face?
God ye good morrow, gentlemen.
God ye good, fair, and young gentlewoman.
Is it gooden?
'Tis no less, I tell you, for the body hand of the dial is now upon the prick of noon.
Out upon you. What a man are you?
One gentlewoman that God hath made himself to mar.
Gentlemen, can any of you tell me where I may find the young Romeo?
I am the youngest of that name.
If you be he, sir, I desire some confidence with you.
Woo! Abad! So out! Romeo, will you come to your father's? Wheel to dinner thither?
I will follow you.
Farewell, ancient lady. Farewell, lady. Lady.
Exits Mercutio and Benvolio.
I pray you, sir, what saucy merchant was this that was so full of his ropery?
A gentleman nurse that loves to hear himself talk and will speak more in a minute than he will stand to in a month.
And to speak anything against me, I'll take him down. And if I cannot, I'll find those that shall. Scurvy knave, and thou must stand by too, and suffer every knave touse me at his pleasure.
I saw no man use you at his pleasure. If I had, my weapon should quickly have been out.
Now, afore God, I am so vexed that every part of me quivers. Scurvy knave. Pray you, sir, a word. And as I told you, my young lady bid me inquire you out. What she bid me say I will keep to myself. But first let me tell ye, if ye should lead her in a fool's paradise, as they say, it were a very gross kind of behavior, as they say. For the gentlewoman is young, and therefore if you should deal double with her truly, it were an ill thing to be offered to any gentlewoman, and very weak dealing.
Nurse, commend me to thy lady and mistress, I protest unto thee.
Good heart, and in faith I will tell her as much. Lord, she will be a joyful woman.
What wilt thou tell her, nurse? Thou dost not hear me?
I will tell her, sir, that you do protest, which, as I take it, is a gentlemanlike offer.
Bid her devise some means to come to Shrift this afternoon, and there she shall at Friar Lawrence' cell be shrived and marry. Here is for thy pains.
No, truly, sir, not a penny.
Go to, I say you shall.
This afternoon, sir. Well, she shall be there.
And stay thou, good nurse, behind the abbey wall. Within this hour my man shall be with thee, and bring thee cords made like a tackled stair, which to the high top gallant of my joy must be my convoy in the secret night. Farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit farewell, be trusty, and I'll quit thy pains. Farewell, commend me to thy mistress.
Aye, 1,000 times. Peter?
Anon!
Before, and apace.
Exits the nurse and Peter and enters Juliet.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him? That is not so. She is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glides than the sun's beam, drudging back shadows over lowering hills. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours. Yet she's not come. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy to her to my sweet love, and his to mine. But old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, pale as lead. Oh, God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Now, good, sweet nurse. O Lord, why thou lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with such a sour face.
I am a weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. Oh, what a jaunt have I had.
I would thou hadst my bones, and I the news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good news, nurse, speak.
Jesu, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, know not he though his face be better than any man's, yet his legs excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He is not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What have you dinned at home?
No, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Oh, Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I. It beats as it would fall into 20 pieces. Oh, my back. Oh, my other side of my back. My back. Be shrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
Ay, Faith, I am sorry that thou art so well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me, what says my love?
Your love says like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where is your mother?
Where's my mother? Why, she's within? Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says like an honest gentleman. Where's your mother?
Oh, God's lady, dear. Are you so hot? Mary, come up, I vow. Is this the reward for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself.
Here's such a coil. Come what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to shift today?
I have.
Then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight. But you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go out to dinner. Hie you to the cell.
Hides a high fortune, honest nurse. Farewell.
They exit and enters Friar and Romeo.
So smile the heavens upon this holy act, that after hours with sorrow chide us not.
Amen, amen. But come, what sorrow can? It cannot countervail the exchange of joy that one short minute gives me in her sight. Do thou but close our hands with holy words, then love-devouring death do what he dare. It is enough, I may call her mine.
These violent delights have violent ends, and in their triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in his own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives as tardy as too slow.
Enters Juliet.
Good even to my ghostly confessor.
Romeo shall thank thee, daughter, for us both.
As much to him, else in his thanks too much.
Juliet, if the measure of thy joy be heaped like mine, and that thy skill be more to blazon it, then sweeten with thy breath this neighbor air. And let rich music's tongue unfold the imagined happiness that both receive in either by this dear encounter.
Conceit more rich in matter than in words. Brags of his substance, not of ornament. They are but beggars that can count their worth. But my true love is grown to such excess, I cannot sum up half of my wealth.
Come with me, and we will make short work, for by your leaves you shall not stay alone, till Holy Church incorporate two in one.
Ends Act 2 and begins Act 3. Enters Mercutio, Benvolio, and some men.
So ready, got them mute and stuff. I pray thee, good Mercutio, let's retire. When the day is hot, the Capulets abroad, and if we meet, we shall not scape a brawl. And for now, these hot days is the mad blood stirring.
Come, thou art as hot a jack in thy mood as any in Italy, and as soon moved to be moody, and as soon moody to be moved.
And what too?
Didst thou not fall out with a tailor for wearing his new doublet before Easter? With another for tying his new shoes with old ribbons? And yet thou wilt tutor me from quarreling?
Enters Tybalt, Petruchio, and others.
By my head, here comes the Capulets.
By my heel, I care not.
Follow me close, for I will speak to them. Gentlemen, good in. A word with one of you.
And but one word with one of us? Couple it with something. Make it a word and a blow.
You shall find me apt enough to that, sir, and you will give me occasion.
Could you not take some occasion without giving?
Mercutio, thou consort with Romeo.
Consort? What dost thou make us, minstrels? And thou make minstrels of us, looking to hear nothing but discords. Here's my fiddlestick. Here's that shall make you dance. Come, consort.
Either draw unto some private place, or reason coldly of your grievance, or else depart. I mean, here all eyes gaze on us.
Men's eyes were made to look, and let them gaze. I will not budge for no man's pleasure, I.
Ah, well, peace be with you, sir. Here comes my man.
But I'll be hanged, sir, if he wear your livery. Marry, go before to field, he'll be your follower. Your worship in that sense may call him man.
Romeo, the love I bear thee can afford no better term than this. Thou art a villain.
Tybalt, the reason that I have to love thee doth much excuse the appertaining rage to such a greeting. Villain am I none, therefore farewell, I see thou know'st me not.
Boy, this shall not excuse the injuries that thou hast done me. Therefore, turn and draw.
I do protest I never injured thee, but loved thee better than thou canst devise. Still, thou shalt know the reason of my love, and so, good Capulet, which name I tender as dearly as mine own, be satisfied.
Ugh. Calm, dishonorable, vile submission. Tybalt, you rat catcher, will you walk?
What wouldst thou have with me?
Good king of cats. Nothing but one of your 9 lives. That I mean to make bold withal. And as you shall use me hereafter, dry beat the rest of you 8. Will you pluck your sword out of his pilcher by the ears? Make haste, lest mine be about your ears ere it be out.
I am for you.
Gentle Mercutio, put thy rapier up.
Come, sir, you passado.
They fight ferociously and
Draw, Benvolio, beat down their weapons. Gentlemen, for shame forbear this outrage. Tybalt, Mercutio, the prince expressly hath forbidden bandying in Verona's streets. Hold, Tybalt, good Mercutio.
Exits Tybalt. Mercutio is badly injured.
I'm hurt. A plague on both the houses. I am sped. Is he gone and hath nothing?
But art thou hurt?
I, a scratch, Mary, 'tis nothing. Where is my page? Go, villain, fetch a surgeon.
Courage, man, the hurt cannot be much.
No. 'Tis not so deep as a well, nor so wide as a church door. But 'tis enough. 'Twill serve. Ask for me tomorrow, and you shall find me a grave man. I am peppered, I warrant, for this world. A plague on both your houses. What? A dog, a rat, a mouse, a cat to scratch a man to death. A braggart, a rogue, a villain that fights by the book of arithmetic. Why the devil came you between us? I was hurt under your arm.
thought all for the best.
Help me into some house, Benvolio, or I shall faint. A plague on both your houses. They have made worms meat of me. I have it. And soundly to your houses.
You exit.
This gentleman, the prince's near ally, my very friend, hath got his mortal hurt in my behalf. My reputation stained with Tybalt's slander. Tybalt that an hour hath been my cousin.
Oh, Romeo. Romeo, brave Mercutio is dead.
This day's black fate on more days depend. This but begins the woe others must end.
Here comes the furious Tybalt back again.
Now, Tybalt, take the villain back again, that late thou gavest me. For Mercutio's soul is but a little way above our heads, staying for thine to keep him company. Either thou or I or both must go with him.
Thou, wretched boy, that didst consort him here, shalt with him hence.
This shall determine that.
They fight and Tybalt falls.
Romeo, away, be gone, the citizens are up and Tybalt is slain. Stand not amazed, the prince will doom thee death if thou art taken. Hence, be gone, away.
Oh, I am fortune's fool.
Why dost thou stay?
Exits Romeo and enters the citizens. Enters Prince, old Montague, Capulet, their wives and all.
Where are the vile beginners of this fray?
O noble prince, I can discover all, the unlucky manager of this fatal brawl. There lies the man slain by young Romeo that slew thy kingsman brave Mercutio.
Tybalt, my cousin? Oh, my brother's child, oh prince, oh cousin, husband, oh, the blood is spilled of my dear kingsman. Prince, as thou art true, for blood of ours, shed blood of Montague.
Benvolio, who began this bloody fray?
Tybalt, here slain, whose Romeo's hand did slay. An envious trust from Tybalt hit the life of stout Mercutio, and then Tybalt fled, but by and by comes back to Romeo, who had but newly entertained revenge. And two, they'd go like lightning, for ere I could draw to part them, was stout Tybalt slain. And as he fell, did Romeo turn and flee. This is the truth, or let Benvolio die.
He is a kinsman to the Montague. Affection makes him false. He speaks not true. I beg for justice, which thou, prince, must give. Romeo slew Tybalt. Romeo must not live.
Romeo slew him, he slew Mercutio. Who now the price of his dear blood doth owe?
Not Romeo, prince. He was Mercutio's friend. His fault concludes, but what the law should end, the life of Tybalt.
And for that offense, immediately we do exile him hence. I have an interest in your heart's proceeding. My blood for your rude brawls doth lie a bleeding, but I'll immerse you with so strong a fine that you shall all repent the loss of mine. I will be deaf to pleading and excuses. No tears nor prayers shall purchase out abuses, therefore use none. Let Romeo hence in haste, else when he is found, that hour is his last. Bear hence this body and attend our will. Mercy but murders, pardoning those who kill.
They exit. And now we are at intermission. Thank you so much. Incredible work. Just to jump in real quick, our actors, you're welcome to get up and use the bathroom or grab a drink before we come back. I just wanted to mention to everyone who's watching, literally, we cast this reading between Monday and Wednesday. Every single reading is cast in this way. We do the adaptation over the weekend. We bring actors together Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they all come together. But something that's really cool is that the original Shakespeare actors at the Globe, they actually all did not have a script. And they were given cue cards on the day of opening night. So they wouldn't even have like the full story. They would just have the line before theirs and then their line. So I feel like in a sense, this is what Shakespeare would have loved. I'm also gonna take a break, but before doing so, everyone please go to actingforacause.org. Let me actually, you know what? I'm gonna do a quick thing where I'm gonna show you how to do it. So I'm gonna screen share here. Let's see, I have to make sure that I don't give away what play we're doing because I have like a million tabs open about that specific project. So I'm gonna have to minimize it, okay? It's very exciting though. It's a very great play. It's a very, very great play. Very excited about it. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick screen share. I'm gonna go full screen. Oh, nope, wrong. I need to screen share first. I'm gonna screen share with y'all. Here we go, screen share, desktop, and then I'm gonna go full screen. There we go. And then I'm gonna go to actingforacause.org. And then I'm gonna click, I'm gonna let things load. And you can read, donate now is where we're gonna click, but you can read about our past works and watch our past works like so. That cool animation for Romeo and Juliet was done by my dear friend Gabe Matazan, so we commissioned for this. Here are all our past readings. About our founder, you can read about me. Patreon, you guys can join in if you wanted to make donations that would not be going towards the donation, but directly to us. We're all volunteers. And so this helps me minimize out-of-pocket expenses for the art that's being commissioned. But you know, the real point and the most important thing is the donation. So I'm gonna click on this and guide you through the process. So we go here, this is the IEF. I'm gonna donate, I'm feeling a little bit crazy today. I'm gonna go 120, but 10 is welcome, 25 is welcome, 35 is welcome. If you want to donate $5, you can do it. But I'm gonna go with 120. You can make it monthly. I'm gonna go ahead and actually do this myself. I think the IEF is very worthy, and they, you know, bigger organizations can make big change. There's big oppressors in the, you know, the world of arts education, people who fight against it. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn off the screen share while I put my credit card info and billing info. Let's stop that. And then I'll show you the screen once I have gotten everything. Once, God willing, we're not on screen share right now. Once I get like some sort of receipt for this. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish my donation. I'm putting in my credit card. Oh, this is easy. I have it pre-programmed in my computer. I can just put in the CVV and then my billing address. I live in a really cool area in, it's called Oak Park. I'm gonna say that on here because I love it. It's where Frank Lloyd Wright, the architect, created the Prairie Movement. And I live 2 blocks from his house in Unity Temple, which is they're just really cool works of architecture. So I'm putting in the address here while I'm trying to process. Don't keep trying to process my request while I'm not ready, computer. And I'm gonna put my zip code in. There we go. And an email address is required. That's great. So that way you can stay up to date on the stuff. And I'm putting in this. And then I'm going to go ahead and give now. There we go. What's wrong here? Oh, a city is required. I have to put my city. Okay, give now. It's loading. And here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and screen share again so you guys can see. You get to this fancy little screen here that says your gift means greater impact. And it tells you how much you're doing. Oop, no, and a date. So you guys rock. If you guys do make a donation, I just walked you through everything. You viewers, you amazing viewers. And let me check where we are at viewership because I think we might be doing better than even the last one, which was our record. Go back to streaming view here. Let me go ahead. I'm not screen sharing good. So I'm going to go to the actual video here. And then we'll bring the actors back on from mute. Analytics. Cool. All right, yeah, we have surpassed. This is a record viewership. That's incredible. Thank you all so much. And it's, you know, you guys, the actors, well done. And the viewers who are here, thank you so, so much from the bottom of my heart. That's amazing. I think we're waiting on a couple more people, Jackie and Aaron. And while we're waiting for them, we're gonna give them like 1 minute. We're gonna start the second part because there's like 5 acts and Shakespeare stuff. I am going to go and come back.
Five acts, but only 2 parts. There aren't 4 more of those. That was just part 1 and this is part 2. Just to clarify.
David, we're here all night.
Yeah, forever. It's too real, man.
Corona ends.
My mom just texted me. My mom just texted and she was like, keep looking at the camera.
My dad is watching it, and he keeps hearing his own name because his name is Peter, and he keeps getting freaked out. He's going to be so mad that I just said that.
Oh no, you outed him.
Hi, Peter.
Are we still?
Sup, Peter?
Are we streaming live right now?
I think so.
I
Still?
hope so.
Hi, Peter.
You're like, no, this hasn't been live the whole time, actually.
It's a great rehearsal.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We love Peter so much. We'll do a cast party for like Zoe's, and literally we'll be on it for like 35 minutes, and Peter will just be like, Skylar! And I'm like, I've been talking for most of this. Mwah. Love him so much.
My dad loves the Zoom.
He's so great.
He loves to Zoom.
Loves the Zoom.
He should be in the next performance.
Who is?
Does he act?
Got a dad who's watching. Whose dad is it?
My
He's
dad.
a perfect father figure, but also real life too. Peter Gallagher. He's on our show. He's on my show, and he also was the dad on the OC, among a million other.
He's a beast. He's and
Margaret, he worked with your dad or your mom.
Andy McDowell, yeah. That's crazy. Small world.
Yeah.
Peter Gallagher to do some Shakespeare on Zoom, I think.
Sorry, I've been on mute and I also have not been listening.
Hey,
we're just casting the next production. It's no big deal.
There you go.
Cool.
Everyone, we're gonna go ahead and come back. I have to open up my script here. I will just remind everyone. So I mentioned this. I don't know if everyone was here, but we last reading of Hamlet, which was amazing with Willa Fitzgerald as Hamlet. We did a whole gender bend. Hari Neff was in it. Brandon was in it. You guys should go back and watch these. This is Our Youth is Up with Florence Pugh. Our first ever reading, The Importance of Being Earnest, with the one and only Moana Ali Carvalho. She was also in Hamlet, but so you can visit both of those if you're an Ali fan. We are going to be announcing our next week's play. I will say it is a Jane Austen, but I won't say what the title is until the very, very end. So without further ado, again, everyone, this is an amazing, I cannot believe how you guys are doing this with like 2 days of preparation. You guys are killing it. I'm wondering if there's anything else, anyone else that want to say anything before I make this happen again? Any shout outs? Catherine gave a shout out to her father who's watching this.
Well, we should get on with it, but I just want to shout you out, bro, man. You're putting this whole thing together. We're all here for the cause, but really you're the one that got us here, and thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you so
doing
much.
incredible work, man. It's really inspiring.
Thank you.
It's absolutely true. Yeah.
Thank you. That gets me right in the heart. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's do this again. This is incredible with views. Oh, does anyone want to post anything on Instagram or any of that? I already did mine. Does anyone need a minute for that, or are we good?
I think we're good.
We want to. Brandon, are you doing something there? No, let's do it.
Yeah, but I'm dead.
He's dead, dude.
You listening, man? You gotta...
Class, he just got in trouble by the teachers.
Not at all. Not at all. All right.
I'm dead, teacher.
Part 2, Romeo and Juliet by William Shakespeare, enters Juliet alone.
Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebe's lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west, and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love, performing night, that runaways' eyes may wink, and Romeo leap to these arms. untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites, and by their own beauties, or, if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, Sibyl Knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match. Come, night, come, Romeo, come thou day and night, give me Romeo, and when I shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night, and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it. Oh, here comes my nurse. Ay me, what news? Why dost thou wring thy hands?
We are undone, lady. We are undone. Alack the day, he's gone. He's killed, he's dead.
Can heaven be so envious?
Romeo can, though heaven cannot. Oh, Romeo. Romeo, whoever would have thought it, Romeo?
If he be slain, say aye, or if not, no.
I saw the wound, I saw it with mine eyes. Save the mark here on his manly breast.
Break my heart.
Oh, Tybalt. Tybalt, the best friend I had that I ever should live to see thee dead.
What storm is this that blows so contrary? Is Romeo slaughtered and is Tybalt dead?
God. And Romeo banished. Romeo that killed him, he is banished.
God, did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood? It did. Alas, the day it did.
No trust, no faith, no honesty in men, all perjured, all forsworn, all not, all dissemblers. Griefs, woes, sorrows, make me old. Shame come to Romeo.
Blistered be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit, for 'tis a throne where honor may be crowned. Oh, what a beast was I to chide him.
You speak well of him that killed your cousin.
Shall I speak ill of him that is my husband? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. My husband lives that Tybalt would have slain, and Tybalt dead that would have slain my husband. All this is comfort, wherefore weep I then? Some words there was worser than Tybalt's death that murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. There is no end, no limit, no measure bound in that word's death. No words can that woe sound. Where is my father and my mother, nurse?
Weeping and wailing over Tybalt's corpse. Will you go to them? I will bring you thither.
Wash they his wounds with tears. Mine shall be spent when theirs dry for Romeo's banishment. Come, Cord, come, nurse. I'll to my wedding bed, and death not Romeo. Take my maidenhead.
Hi, dear chamber. I'll find Romeo to comfort you. I wot well where he is.
Find him. Give him this ring to my true knight, and bid him come to take his last farewell.
Exit. Enters Friar and Romeo.
Romeo, come forth, thou fearful man.
Father, what news? What is the prince's doom?
A gentler judgment vanished from his lips. Not body's death, but body's banishment.
Banishment. Be merciful, say death. For exile hath more terror in his look, much more than death. Do not say banishment.
Here from Verona art thou banished. Be patient. The world is broad and wide.
There is no world without Verona walls, but purgatory, torture, hell itself. Hence banished is banished from the world, and world's exile is death. Then banished is death, mistermed, calling death banished.
Deadly sin, a rude unthankfulness. This is dear mercy, and thou seest not.
'Tis torture and not mercy. Heaven is here where Juliet lives, and every cat and dog and little mouse, every unworthy thing lives here in heaven and may look on her, but Romeo may not. More validity, more honorable state, more courtship lives in carrion flies than Romeo. They may seize on the white wonder of dear Juliet's hand and steal immortal blessings from her lips. This may flies do when I must this. This may flies do when I from this must fly. And sayst thou yet that exile is not death? But Romeo may not, he is banished. Hadst thou no poison mixed, no sharp ground knife, no sudden mean of death, though ne'er so mean, but banished to kill me? Banished?
Then, fond madman, hear me speak.
Oh, thou wilt speak again of banishment.
Oh, then I see that madmen have no ears.
How should they, when wise men have no eyes?
Let me despair with thee of thy estate.
Thou canst not speak of that, thou dost not feel. Wert thou as young as Juliet, my love, an hour but married, Tybalt murdered, doting like me, and like me banished, then mightst thou speak. Then mightst thou tear thy hair, and fall upon the ground as I do now, taking the measure of an unmade grave.
Arise, one knocks. Good Romeo, hide thyself.
Not I, unless the breath of heartsick groans mist-like enfold me from the search of eyes.
Hark how they knock. Romeo, arise, thou wilt be taken. Stay a while, stand up. Run to my study, by and by God's will. What simplessness is this? I come, I come. Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
Enters nurse. Enters the nurse. Enters.
Welcome, then.
Walking in very slowly.
Have I lost my place? I thought Friar says arise one knocks.
Top of page 43.
Oh, I'm a page behind. My mistake.
Good.
Ah, there we are. If I could have that knock again.
Who knocks so hard? Whence come you? What's your will?
Enters nurse.
Let me come in, and you shall know my errand. I come from Lady Juliet.
Welcome, then.
Oh, holy friar. Oh, tell me, holy friar, where's my lady's lord? Where is Romeo?
There on the ground with his own tears made drunk.
Oh, he is even in my mistress' case, blubbering and weeping and blubbering. Stand up, stand and you be a man. For Juliet's sake, for her sake, rise and stand. Why should you fall into so deep an O?
Nurse.
Ah, sir, death's the end of all.
Speakst thou of Juliet? How is it with her? Doth not she think me an old murderer? Where is she, and how doth she? And what says my concealed lady to our concealed love?
No, she says nothing, sir, but weeps and weeps, and now falls on her bed, and then starts up, and Tybalt calls, and then on Romeo cries, and then down falls again.
As if that name shot from the dead jewel of a gun murdered her kinsman. Oh, tell me, friar, tell me, in what vile part of this anatomy doth my name lodge? Tell me that I may sack the hateful mansion.
Hold thy desperate hand. Art thou a man? Thy form cries out thou art. Thou hast amazed me. By my holy order I thought thy disposition better tempered. Hast thou slain Tybalt? Wilt thou slay thyself and slay thy lady that in thy life lies by doing damned hate upon thyself? What roused thee, man? Thy Juliet is alive, for whose dear sake thou wast but lately dead. But like a misshapen and sullen wench, thou puttest up thy fortune and thy love. Take heed, for such die miserable. Go get thee to thy love as was decreed, ascend her chamber, hence and comfort her. But look thou stay not till the watch be set, for then thou canst not pass to Mantua, for thou shalt live, that we can find the time to blaze your marriage, reconcile your friends, beg pardon of thy prince, and call thee back. With 20,100,000 more times joy than thou wentst forth in lamentation. Go before nurse, commend me to thy lady, and bid her hasten all the house to bed, which heavy sorrow makes them act unto. Romeo is coming.
Oh Lord, I could have stayed here all night to hear good counsel. Oh, what learning is. Here, sir, a ring she bid me give you, sir. Hie you, make haste, for it grows very late.
How well my comfort is revived by this.
Give me thy hand. 'Tis late. Farewell, good night.
But that a joy past joy calls out on me, it were a grief so brief to part with thee. Farewell.
They exit. Enters old Capulet, his wife, and Paris. Things have fallen out so unluckily that we have had no time to move our daughter. Look you, she loved her kinsman Tybalt dearly, and so did I. Well, we were born to die. It is very late. She'll not come down tonight, I promise you, but for your company, I would have been abed an hour ago.
These times of woe afford no times of woo. Madame, good night. Commend me to your daughter.
I will, and know her mind early tomorrow. Tonight, she's mewed up to her heaviness.
Sir Paris, I will make a desperate tender of my child's love. I think she will be ruled in all respects by me, nay more, I doubt it not. Wife, go you to her, you go to bed. Acquaint her here, my son Paris's love. And bid her, mark you me on Wednesday next. But soft, what day is this?
Monday, my lord.
Monday. Well, Wednesday is too soon. A Thursday let it be. A Thursday tell her. She shall be married to this noble earl. Will you be ready? Do you like this haste? We'll keep no great ado, a friend or two. For hark you, Tybalt being slain so late, it may be thought we held him carelessly. Being our kingsman, we revel too much. Therefore, we'll have a dozen friends, and there an end. But say you to Thursday.
My lord, I would that Thursday were tomorrow.
Well, get you gone. Thursday be it then. Go you to Juliet ere you go to bed. Prepare her, wife, against this wedding day. Prepare her, wife. Farewell, my lord. Light to my chamber for me. It is so late that we may call it early by and by. Good night. Exit. Enters Romeo and Juliet aloft.
Wilt thou be gone? It is not yet near day. It was the nightingale and not the lark that pierced the fearful hollow of thine ear. Nightly she sings on yond pomegranate tree. Believe me, love, it was the nightingale.
It was the lark, the herald of the morn, no nightingale. Look, love, what envious streaks do lace the severing clouds in yonder east. Night's candles are burnt out, and Jocund day stands tiptoe on the misty mountains' tops. I must be gone and live, or stay and die.
Yond light is not daylight. I know it, It is some meteor that the sun exhales to be thee this night a torchbearer, and light thee on the way to Mantua. Therefore stay yet. Thou needest not be gone.
Let me be ta'en, let me be put to death. I am content, so thou wilt have it so. I'll say yon grain is not the morning's eye. I have more care to stay than will to go. Come, death, and welcome. Juliet wills it so. How is my soul? Let's talk. It is not day.
It is. It is. Hie hence, be gone away. It is the lark that sings so out of tune, straining harsh discords and unpleasing sharps. Oh, now be gone, more light, and it grows and grows.
More light and light, more dark and dark our woes.
Madam,
Nurse?
your lady mother is coming to your chamber. The day is broke. Be wary, look about.
Then window let day in and let life out.
Farewell, farewell. One kiss, and I'll descend.
Art thou gone so, love lord, I husband, friend? I must hear from thee every day in the hour. For a minute there are many days. For by this count I shall be much in years, ere I again behold my Romeo.
Farewell. I will omit no opportunity that may convey my greetings, love, to thee.
O thinkest thou we shall ever meet again?
I doubt it not, and all these woes shall serve for sweet discourses in our time to come. Adieu, adieu.
Exit.
O Fortune, Fortune, all men call thee fickle. If thou art fickle, what dost thou with him that is renowned for faith? Be fickle, Fortune, for then I hope thou wilt not keep him long, but send him back.
Enters mother.
Come, daughter. Are you up?
Who is it that calls? Is it my lady mother?
Why, how are you now, Juliet?
Madam, I am not well.
Evermore weeping for your cousin's death? What? Wilt thou wash him from his grave with tears? And if thou couldn't make him live. Therefore have done. Some grief shows much of love, but much of grief shows still some of want of wit.
Yet let me weep for such a feeling loss.
So shall you feel the loss, but not the friend which you weep for.
Feeling so the loss, I cannot choose but ever weep the friend.
Well, girl, thou weepest not so much for his death, as that the villain lives which slaughtered him.
What villain, madam?
The same villain, Romeo.
Oh, yet no man like he doth grieve my heart.
That's because the traitor lives.
Aye, madam, from the reach of these my hands.
We will have vengeance for him. Fear thou not, for he shall soon keep Tybalt company, and then I hope thou wilt be satisfied. But now, I'll tell thee joyful tidings, girl.
And joy comes well in such a needy time. What are they? Beseech your ladyship.
Well, thou hast a careful father, child, one who to put thee from thy heaviness hath sorted out a sudden day of joy, that thou expects not, nor I look not for.
Madam, in happy time, what day is this?
Mary, my child, early next Thursday morn, the gallant young and noble gentleman, the county Paris at St. Peter's Church, shall happily make thee joyful bride.
Now by St. Peter's Church, and Peter too, he shall not make me there joyful bride. I wonder at this haste that I much wed. Ere he that should be husband comes to woe, I pray you tell my lord and father, madam, I will not marry yet, and when I do, I swear it shall be Romeo, who you know I hate, rather than Paris. These are news indeed.
Oh, here comes your father. Tell him so yourself, and see how he will take it at your hands.
Enters Capulet and nurse. How now, conduit girl, what, still in tears, evermore showing in one little body. Thou counterfeits a bark, a sea, a wind, for still thy eyes, which I may call the sea, do ebb and flow with tears. The bark thy body is, sailing in the salt flood. The winds thy sighs, who, raging with the tears, and they with them, without a sudden calm will overset thy tempest-tossed body. How now, wife? Have you delivered to her our decree?
Aye, sir. But she will none. She gives you thanks. I would the fool were married to her grave.
Soft, take me with you, wife. How will she none? Doth she not give us thanks? Is she not proud? Doth she not count her blessed, unworthy as she is, that we have wrought so worthy a gentleman to be her bridegroom?
Not proud you have, but thankful that you have. Proud can I never be of what I have, but thankful even for hate that is meant love.
How now? How now? Chopped logic? What is this? Proud? And I thank you not. Thank me no thankings, nor proud me no prouds, but fettle your fine joints against Thursday next, to go with Paris to St. Peter's Church, or I will drag thee on a hurdle thither. Out you green sickness carrying, out you baggage, you tallow face.
Fie, are you mad?
Good father, I beseech you on my knees. Hear me with patience, but speak a word.
Hang thee, young baggage, disobedient wrench. I tell thee what, get thee to a church on Thursday, or never look after me. Look me in the face, speak not, reply not, do not answer me. My fingers itch, wife. We scarce thought us blessed that God had lent us but this only child, but now I see this one is one too much, and that we have a curse in having her. Out on her, Hilden.
God in heaven bless her. You are to blame, my lord, to rate her so.
Oh, and why, my lady wisdom? Hold your tongue. Good prudence. Smatter with your gossip. Go.
May not one speak?
Peace, you mumbling fool. Utter your gravity over a gossip's bowels, for here we need it not.
You are too hot.
Bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, ride, time, work, play, alone in company, still my care hath been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair demeans, youthful, nobly allied, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as ones would thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched pulling fool to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot have love, I'm too young, I pray you pardon me. But you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Graze, where will you? You shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it. I do not use to jest. Thursday's near, lay hand on heart, advise, and you be mine, I give you to my friend. And you be not hang, beg, starve, die in the streets, for be my soul, I'll ne'er acknowledge thee, nor what is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn. He exits.
Is there no pity sitting in the clouds that sees into the bottom of my grief? O sweet my mother, cast me not away. Delay this marriage for a month, a week, or if you do not, make the bridal bed in that dim monument where Tybalt lays.
Talk not to me, for I'll not speak a word. Do as thou wilt, for I have done with thee.
Oh God. Oh nurse, how shall this be prevented? My husband is on earth, and my faith in heaven. How shall this faith return again to earth unless that husband send it from me, from heaven, by leaving earth? Comfort me, counsel me. What sayest thou? Hast thou not a word of joy, some comfort, nurse?
Faith. Here it is. Romeo is banished, and all the world to nothing, that he dare ne'er come back to challenge you. Or if he do, it must by stealth. Then since the case so stands, as now it doth, I think it best you married with the county. Oh, he's a lovely gentleman. Romeo's a dish clout to him, an eagle, madam, hath not so green, so quick, so fair an eye as Paris hath. He strove my very heart. I think you are happy in the second match, for it excels your first. Or if it did not, your first is dead, or 'twere as good he were, as living here and you no use of him.
Speaketh thou from thy heart?
And from my soul too, or else beshrew them both.
Amen.
What?
Well, thou hast comforted me marvelous much. Go in and tell my lady I am gone. Having displeased my father to Lawrence cell to make confession and to be absolved.
Mary, I will. Now this is wisely done.
Ancient damnation, O most wicked fiend, it is more sin to wish me thus forsworn, or to dispraise my lord with that same tongue which she hath praised him with above compare. So many thousand times. Go, counselor, thou art my bosom henceforth shall be twain. I'll to the friar to know his remedy. If all else fail, myself have power to die.
She exits. Act 4 enters Friar and Count Paris.
On Thursday, sir. The time is very short.
Well, my father Capulet will have it so, and I am nothing slow to slack his haste.
You say you do not know the lady's mind? Uneven as the course, I like it not.
Well, immoderately she weeps for Tybalt's death, and therefore have I little talked of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears. Now, sir, her father counts it dangerous that she do give her sorrow so much sway, and in his wisdom hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of her tears, which too much minded by herself alone may be put from her by society. Now, do you know the reason of this haste?
I would I knew not why it should be slowed. Look, sir, here comes the lady towards my cell.
Enters Juliet.
Happily met, my lady and my wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That must be love on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
That's a certain text.
Come to you make confession to his father?
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Well, do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess to you that I love him.
So will ye. I am sure that you love me.
If I do so, it will be of more price, being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory by that, for it was bad enough before their sprite.
It more than tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and what I spoke to thy face.
Thy face is mine, thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, for it is not mine own. Are you at leisure, Holy Father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter, now. My lord, you must entreat the time alone.
God shield I should disturb devotion. Juliet, on Thursday early will I rouse ye. Mwah. Till then, adieu, and then keep this holy kiss.
Exit Paris.
Shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past care, past help.
Oh, Juliet, I already know thy grief. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it, on Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, Friar, that thou hast heard of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent it. If in thy wisdom thou canst give no help, do thou but call my resolution wise, and with this knife I'll help it presently.
Hold, daughter, I do spy a kind of hope. Rather than to marry County Paris, thou hast the strength of will to slay thyself, then is it likely thou wilt undertake a thing like death to chide away this shame?
Oh, bid me leap rather than marry Paris from the battlements of any tower, and I will do it without fear or doubt to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then. Go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Take thou this vial, being then in bed. In this distilling liquor, drink thou off, when presently through all thy veins shall run a cold and drowsy humor. For no pulse shall keep his native progress, but surcease no warmth, no breath shall testify thou livest. Each part deprived of supple government shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death. And in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridegroom in the morning comes to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. And then, as the manner of our country is, in thy best robes, uncovered on the bier, be borne to burial in thy kindred's grave. Thou shalt be borne to that same ancient vault, where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt wake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and that very night shall Romeo bear thee hence to Mantua.
Give me, oh, tell me not of care.
Old get you gone, be strong and prosperous. In this resolve I'll send a friar with speed to Mantua with letters to thy lord.
Love give me strength, and the strength shall help me afford farewell, dear father.
Exits, enters Father Capulet, mother, and nurse. What is my daughter gone to Friar Lawrence?
Aye, forsooth.
Well, he may chance to do her some good. A peevish, self-wild harlotry it is. Enters Juliet.
See where she comes from shrift with merry look.
How now, my headstrong? Where have you been gadding?
Where I have learnt me to repent the sin of disobedient opposition to you and your behests, and am enjoyed by holy Lawrence to fall prostrate here, to beg your pardon. Pardon, I beseech you. Henceforth I am ever ruled by you.
Send for the county. Go tell him of this. I'll have this knot knit up tomorrow morning.
I met the youthful lord at Lawrence cell, and gave him what becomed love I might, not stepping over the bounds of modesty.
Why, I am glad on it. This is well. Stand up, as it should be. Let me see the count. I marry, go, I say, and fetch him hither. Now afore God, this reverend holy friar, and our whole city is much bound to him.
Nurse, will you go with me into my closet to help me sort such needful ornaments as you think fit to furnish me tomorrow?
No, not till Thursday. There's time enough. Go, nurse. Go with her. We'll to church tomorrow. Exits Juliet and nurse. Speaks Lady Capulet. Bottom of 56, and you're muted.
We shall be short in our provision. 'Tis now near night.
Tush, I will stir about, and all things shall be well. I warrant thee, wife. Go thou to Juliet. Help to deck her. I'll not to bed tonight. Let me alone. I'll play the huswife for this once. What ho? They are all forth. Well, I will walk myself to Count Paris to prepare him up. Against tomorrow, my heart is wondrous light, since the same wayward girl is so reclaimed. Exits father.
So please you, let me now be left alone, and let the nurse this night sit up with you, for I am sure you have your hands full in this so sudden business.
Good night. Get thee to bed and rest, for thou hast need.
Farewell. God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins. It almost freezes up the heat of fire. I'll call them back to comfort me. Nurse, what should she do here? My dismal scene, I needs must act alone. Come, Vile. What if this mixture do not work at all? Shall I be married then tomorrow morning? No, this shall forbid it. Lie thou there. How if when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the vault, to whose foul mouth no heathsome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, is it not very likely the horrible conceit of death and night together with the terror of the place, as in a vault, an ancient receptacle where these many hundreds years of bones of all of my buried ancestors are packed, where bloody Tybalt, yet but green in earth, lies festering in his shroud, where, as they say, at some hours in the night, spirits resort. Alack, alack, is it not like that? I so early waking, what with loathsome smells and shrieks like mandrakes torn out of the earth, that living mortals hearing them run mad. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught, environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joints and plucked the mangled Tybalt from his shroud? And in this rage, with some great kinsman bone, as with a club, dash out my desperate brains. Oh, look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost seeking out Romeo, that did spit his body upon my rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay. Romeo, Romeo, Romeo. Here's drink, I drink to thee.
The next morning enters nurse.
Mistress? What mistress? Juliet? Fast I warrant her she. Why lamb? Why lady? Why you slug a bed? Why love I say? Madam sweetheart? Why bride? What, not a word? You take your pennyworths now, sleep for a week. For the next night I warrant the County Paris hath set up his rest, that you shall rest but little. God forgive me. Mary and amen. How sound is she asleep? I must need wake her. Madam? 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 Alas! Alas! Help! Help! My lady is dead!
Meanwhile, in Mantua, enters Romeo.
If I may trust the flattering truth of sleep, my dreams presage some joyful news at hand. I dreamt my lady came and found me dead, strange dream that gives a dead man leave to think, and breathed such life with kisses in my lips, that I revived and was an emperor. Ah me, how sweet is love, is self-possessed, but when love's shadows are so rich in joy. News from Verona. How now, Balthazar, dost thou not bring me letters from the friar? How doth my lady? Is my father well? How doth my lady Juliet? That I ask again, for nothing can be ill if she be well.
Then she is well, and nothing can be ill. Her body sleeps in Capel's monument, and her immortal part with angels live. I saw her laid low in her kindred's vault, and presently took post to tell it you. Ah, pardon me for bringing these ill news, since you did leave it for my office, sir.
Is it even so? Then I deny you, stars. Thou know'st my lodging. Give me ink and paper, and hire post horses. I will hence tonight.
I do beseech you, sir, have patience. Your looks are pale and wild, and do import some misadventure.
Tush, thou art deceived. Leave me, and do the thing I bid thee do. Hast thou no letters to me from the friar?
No, my good lord.
Exit Balthazar.
No matter, get thee gone, and hire those horses. I'll be with thee straight. Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. I do remember an apothecary, and hereabout dwells, which late I noted in tattered weeds with overwhelming brows, culling of simples, meager were his looks, sharp misery had worn him to the bones, and if a man did need a poison now, whose sale is present death in Mantua, here lies a miserable wretch would sell it to him. This same thought did but forerun my need, and this same needy man must sell it me. As I remember, this should be the house. Being holy day, the beggar's shop is shut. What ho, apothecary!
Calls so low.
Come hither, man. I see that thou art poor. Hold, there is 40 ducats. Let me have a dram of poison, such soon speeding gear as will dispel itself through all the veins, that the life-weary taker may fall dead, and that the trunk may be discharged of breath, as violently as hasty powder fired doth hurry from the fatal cannon's womb.
Put this in any liquid thing you will. You drink it off. And if you had the strength of 20 men, it would dispatch you straight.
There's thy gold. worse poison to men's souls, doing more murder in this loathsome world than these poor compounds that thou mayst not sell. I sell thee poison, thou hast sold me none. Farewell, buy food and get thyself in flesh. Come, cordial and not poison, go with me to Juliet's grave, for there I must use thee.
He exits. Enter Friar John to Friar Lawrence.
Holy Franciscan friar, brother, ho?
Enters Friar Lawrence.
The same should be the voice of Friar John, welcome from Mantua. What sayest, Romeo? Or if his mind be writ, give me his letter.
Going to find a barefoot brother out, one of our order to associate me, here in the city visiting the sick, and finding him, the searchers of the town, suspecting that we both were in a house where the infectious pestilence did reign, sealed up the doors and would not let us forth, so that my speed to Mantua there was stayed.
Who bear my letter then to Romeo?
I could not send it. Here it is again, nor get a messenger to bring it thee, so fearful they were of infection.
Unhappy fortune, by my brotherhood, the letter was not nice, but full of charge of dear import, and the neglecting it may do much danger. Friar John, go hence, get me an iron crow, and bring it straight into my cell.
Brother, I'll go and bring it thee.
Now must I to the monument alone. Within this 3 hours will fair Juliet wake. She will beshrew me much that Romeo hath had no notice of these accidents. But I will write again to Mantua, and keep her at my cell till Romeo come. Poor living corpse closed in a dead man's tomb.
She exits, enters Paris and his page.
I'm muted, aren't I? Ready? Take two. Give me thy torch, boy. Hence and stand aloof, yet put it out, for I would not be seen. Under yon yew trees lay thee along, holding thine ear close to the hollow ground, so shall no foot upon the churchyard tread. Being loose, unfirm with digging up of graves, but thou shalt hear it, whistle then to me, as signal that thou hearest something approach. Give me those flowers. Do as I bid thee, go.
I'm almost afraid to stand alone here in the churchyard, yet I will adventure.
Sweet flower, with flowers thou bridal bed I strew. Oh, woe! Thy canopy is dust and stones, which with sweet water nightly I will dew. Or wanting that with tears distilled by moans, the obsequies that I for thee will keep nightly shall be to strew thy grave and weep. It gives warning, something doth approach. Okay, what cursed foot wanders this way tonight to cross my obsequies and true love's right? What with a torch? Muffle me night a while.
Enters Romeo and Balthasar.
Hold, take this letter early in the morning. See thou deliver it to my lord and father. Give me the light. Upon thy life I charge thee. Whate'er thou hearst or seest, stand all aloof, and do not interrupt me in my course. Why I descend into this bed of death is partly to behold my lady's face, but chiefly to take thence from her dead finger a precious ring, a ring that I must use in dear employment. Therefore hence be gone. But if thou jealous dost return to pry in what I further shall intend to do, by heaven I will tear thee joint by joint, and strew this hungry churchyard with thy limbs. The time and my intents are savage wild, more fierce and more inexorable far, them empty tigers or the roaring sea.
I will be gone, sir, and not trouble you.
So shalt thou show me friendship. Take thou that. Live and be prosperous, and farewell, good fellow.
For all this same, I'll hide me hereabout. His looks I fear, and his intents I doubt.
Thou detestable maw, thou womb of death, gorged with the dearest morsel of the earth, thus I enforce thy rotten jaws to open, and in despite I'll cram thee with more food.
That is that banished haughty Montague, that murdered my love's cousin, with which grief it is supposed the fair creature died. And here is come to do some villainous shame to the dead bodies? I will apprehend him. Stop thy unhallowed toil, vile Montague! Can vengeance be pursued further than death?
Condemned villain, I do apprehend thee. Obey and go with me, for thou must die.
I must indeed, and therefore I came hither. Good gentle youth, tempt not a desperate man. Fly hence and leave me. Think upon those gone. Let them affright thee. I beseech the youth, put not another sin upon my head by urging me to fury. O be gone! By heaven, I love thee better than myself, for I am come hither armed against myself. Stay not, be gone, live, and hereafter say, a madman's mercy bid thee run away.
I do defy thee condemnation, and apprehend thee for a felon here.
Wilt thou provoke me? Then have at thee, boy.
Oh Lord, they fight. I will go call the watch.
No! I am slain. Ah! If thou be merciful, open the tomb. Lay me with Juliet.
In faith I will. Let me peruse this face. Mercutio's kinsman, noble county Paris. What said my man when my betossed soul did not attend him as we rode? I think he told me Paris should have married Juliet. Said he not so? Or did I dream it so? Or am I mad, hearing him talk of Juliet, to think it was so? Or, oh, give me thy hand. One writ with me in sour misfortune's book. I'll bury thee in a triumphant grave. A grave, oh no, a lantern. Slaughtered youth. For here lies Juliet, and her beauty makes this vault a feasting presence full of light. Death, lie thou there, by a dead man interred. How oft, when men are at the point of death, have they been merry, which their keepers call a lightning before death. Oh, how may I call this a lightning? O my love, my wife. Death that hath sucked the honey of my breath hath had no power yet upon thy beauty. Thou art not conquered, beauty's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks, and death's pale flag is not advanced there. Why art thou yet so fair? I will believe, shall believe. Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous? And that the lean, abhorred monster keeps thee here in dark to be his paramour? For fear of that, I still will stay with thee, and never from this palace of dim night depart again. Here I will remain, with worms that are thy chambermaids. Oh, here will I set up my everlasting rest, and shake the yoke of inauspicious stars from this world-wearied flesh. Eyes, look your last. Arms, take your last embrace. And lips, oh you, the doors of breath, seal with a righteous kiss, a dateless bargain to engrossing death. Come bitter conduct, come unsavory guide, thou desperate pilot, now at once run on the dashing rocks, thy seasick, weary bark. Here's to my love. O true apothecary, thy drugs are quick. Thus with a kiss I die.
Enters Friar with a Lothern crow and spade.
St. Francis be my speed, how oft tonight have my old feet stumbled at graves? Who's there?
Here's one, a friend, and one that knows you well.
Bliss be upon you. Tell me, good my friend, what torch is yon that vainly lends his light to grubs and eyeless skulls, as I discern it burneth in the capel's monument?
It doth so, holy sir, and there's my master, one that you love.
Who is it?
Romeo.
How long hath he been there?
Full half an hour.
Go with me to the vault.
I dare not, sir. My master knows not, but I am gone hence, and fearfully did menace me with death if I did stay to look on his intents.
Stay. Then I'll go alone. Fears come upon me. Oh, much I fear some ill, unlucky thing. Alack, alack, what blood is this which stains the stony entrance of the sepulchre? What mean these masterless and gory swords to lie discolored by this place of peace? Romeo, oh pale, who else? What, Paris too, and steeped in blood? Ah, what an unkind hour is guilty of this lamentable chance. The lady stirs.
Oh, comfortable friar, where's my lord? I do remember well where I should be, and there I am. Where is my Romeo?
I hear some noise, lady, come from that nest of death, contagion, and unnatural sleep. A greater power than we can contradict hath thwarted our intents. Come away. Thy husband in thy bosom lies dead. and Paris too. Come, I'll dispose of thee among a sisterhood of holy nuns. Stay not to question, for the watch is coming. Come, go, good Juliet. I dare no longer stay.
Friar exits.
Go get thee hence, for I will not away. What's here? A cup closed in my true love's hand? Poison, I see, hath been his timeless end. O churl, drunk all and left no friendly drop to help me after, I will kiss thy lips. Happily some poison yet doth hang on them to make me die with a restorative. Thy lips are warm.
Which way?
Ya noise? Then I'll be brief. O happy dagger, 'tis in thy sheath, there rust and let me die.
And Juliet kills herself. In comes Romeo's Balthasar.
The ground is bloody. Search about the churchyard. Go, some of you, where you find it touch. Pitiful sight. Here lies the county slain, and Juliet bleeding, warm and newly dead, who here hath lain these 2 days buried. Go tell the prince, run to the Capulets, raise up the Montagues, some others search. We see the ground whereon these woes do lie, but the true ground of all these piteous woes we cannot, without circumstance, descry. A great suspicion. Stay the friar too.
Enters the prince.
What misadventure is so early up that calls our person from our morning's rest?
Enters Capulet and his wife and the prince.
What fear is which startles in our ears?
Sovereign, here lies the county Paris slain, and Romeo dead, and Juliet dead before, warm and new killed.
Search, seek, and know how this foul murder comes.
Here is a friar and slaughtered Romeo's man with instruments upon them fit to open these dead men's tombs. Oh heaven, oh wife, look at our daughter bleed. This dagger hath mistained, for lo, his house is empty on the back of Montague, and his Miss Heath in my daughter's bosom.
Oh me, this sight of death is a veil that warns my old age to sepulture.
Enters Montague.
Come, Montague, for thou art early up to see thy son, and ere now early down.
Alas, my liege, my wife is dead tonight. Grief of my son's exile hath stopped her heart. What further woe conspires against my age?
Look, and thou shalt see.
Oh, thou untaught, what manners is in this to press before thy father to a grave?
Seal up the mouth of outrage for a while till we can clear up these ambiguities and know their spring, their head, their true descent. And then will I be a general of your woes and lead you even to death. Meantime, forbear and let mischance be slave to patience. Bring forth the parties of suspicion.
I am the greatest, able to do least, yet most suspected at the time and place doth make against me of this direful murder. And here I stand both to impeach and purge myself condemned and myself excused.
Then say at once what thou dost know in this.
All this amazement can I qualify, when after that the funeral rites are ended. I'll tell you largely of these lovers' death. Meantime, let sorrow seem familiar. And if aught in this miscarried by my fault, let my old life be sacrificed some hour before the time unto the rigor of severest law.
We still have known thee for a holy man. Where's Romeo's man? What can he say in this?
Oh, brother Montague, give me thy hand. This is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
I can give thee more. For I will raise her statue in pure gold, that while Verona by that name is known, there shall be no figure at that rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
Give me the letter, I will look on it. Where's the county's page that raised the watch? Sirrah, what made you a master in this place?
As rich shall Romeo by his lady lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
The letter doth make good the friar's words, their course of love, the tidings of their death. And here he writes that he did by a poison of a poor apothecary, and therewithal came to this vault to die and lie with Juliet. Where be these enemies? Capulet, Montague? See what a scourge is laid upon your hate? That heaven's find means to kill your joys with love. And I, for winking at your discords too, have lost a brace of kinsmen. All are punished.
O brother Montague, give me thy hand, and this is my daughter's jointure, for no more can I demand.
I can give thee more, for I will raise her statue in pure gold, that whilst Verona by that name is known, there shall be no figure at that rate be set as that of true and faithful Juliet.
As rich shall Romeo by his lady lie, poor sacrifices of our enmity.
A glooming peace this morning with it brings. The sun for sorrow will not show his head. Go hence to have more talk of these sad things. Some shall be pardoned, and some punished. For never was a story of more woe than this, of Juliet and her Romeo.
The men exit, and thus ends the tragedy of Romeo and Juliet. Wow. Thank you all so much. Thank you all of the viewers. We passed by our past viewership by quite a bit. On my side, I see the analytics of the entire stream, how many people have tuned in, and we have over 16,000, which is unbelievable. That is, I thought
you were going to say over 16. So.
Past 15. Guys, thank you so much. Go to actingforacause.org. Remember that we're doing this for the important reason of them all. We want to make impact. And we can only do it with the viewers participating in this way. If you can be a monthly donor, be a monthly donor. If you can sign up to our Patreon and help the little expenses that come here and there with promoting this jointure, you can do that as well. Actingforacause.org. It's all there. If you want to watch this over and over again, actingforacause.org. And just one more round of applause for our amazing actors. This was really, such a dream group. Margaret, we've been trying to get her from the first reading, and I really have to thank you for making the time. David.
This was a blast. All you guys were so awesome, and this was fun to read through, and thanks.
Thank you, Margaret, and David. On the day of Hollywood's release, he was in Ryan Murphy's Hollywood.
Go watch Hollywood on Netflix.
Go do it right now. And I think someone else is the release today. Will is in the final episode of Blue Bloods, if I can pronounce it. Is that right? You guys, thank you for our Broadway guys, Will and Sam, incredible people. Michael, man, you are
Who's on Broadway?
Catherine, yeah.
And Catherine. Oh man, I didn't know this. Catherine is also one of our Broadway people. I thought of you as like a film person too, somewhere in between. Everyone's somewhere in between. Brandon, thank you so much for returning. Really incredible to see your range. Just in a time when you wouldn't expect to do any acting, you've been Ophelia on one end, and then today you were just a marvelous Mercutio. So incredible. And then Skylar, oh man, I'm like honored to work with you. You don't know how much of a fan I really am inside. I'm like hiding it. You are such a king.
Are you going on for Juliet for the matinee?
Yes, I will be going on tonight for Juliet. I just found that out. So rest up, Mark.
Exciting.
Aaron was, one of the first people who joined in and gave me so much. I think a lot of my development of this project came just from talking to Aaron during our rehearsal one time. And then also Jackie, who had me on her live this morning. We talked in Spanish for a bit to the Spanish-speaking audience. Muchas gracias por tenerme en el episodio esta mañana. And we will see you all next Friday for Pride and Prejudice. Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Ends live stream. Bye.
Awesome.